So the largest RSA to date is in the rearview mirror. And John, we certainly have a lot to talk about, but first of all, I want to let you know that you were sorely missed and many of your friends sent their best.
Oh, that's nice. I missed it. It's the first one I've missed since 2004.
I know it.
But I had some other things I had to take care of, and now I'm back. So tell me about RSA, Doug.
Boy, a lot of ground to cover. Let's start with the endpoint. There was, needless to say, a lot of heat around the endpoint at RSA this year. There were a lot of meaningful announcements. IBM announced a new EDR offering. SOFA announced their acquisition of Evincia to add machine learning to their endpoint security stack. We had meaningful partnership announcements from Carbon Black, Counterattack, on and on and on, just a ton of really meaningful announcements. But there was a little bit of controversy.
Was there?
There was a new round of independent third-party testing results that came out around sort of the efficacy of threat detection. And there was mixed feelings and some debate around the credibility of that testing. And I want to get your thoughts in general around, how should we as an industry view those independent third-party tests?
Well, testing's always, it doesn't matter where you've worked or where you live in the IT world. Testing is always controversial because people feel like the tests are skewed, and even when they're standards-based. There are some people who are happy with the methodology, there's some people who aren't. And that's okay. What I'm opposed to is the politics of testing. And when tests become sort of a proxy for business or for who participates, who doesn't, who gets paid, who doesn't, that's when testing and business kind of collide. And really what we're after here is good testing methodology, and this is difficult, as we found out last year in our research.
Yep.
For endpoint security, because you have to understand different types of malware. You have to be able to change malware. You have to be able to throw it at different products, and that's difficult in itself. But what we're seeing more or a lot of feedback on is the usability of these tools too, because there's a skills shortage, and so how do you get benefit out of these? Well, you need the technology to do some of the work that people normally do.
Absolutely. So it's hard, right? There's a variety of types of threats that you have to test and you have to configure products, but maybe just a little more transparency in the methodology and shifting the focus toward efficiency, sort of this notion that efficient efficacy, you need both.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is no one standard testing methodology, so there needs to be flexibility on those who test, and there needs to be flexibility on those who have products to test. And the more we cooperate as an industry, I think the better.
Absolutely. So, this notion of a reference architecture for security analytics, SOPA, so Security Orchestration Analytics Platform Architecture, is really resonating with a number of vendors that I spoke with. They just feel like they sort of identify that reference architecture aligns with their view of the world. And more importantly, their view of the ecosystem and the ecosystem within which they're bringing solutions. And toward that end, in your stead, as you know, I moderated a panel on the insider threat, which was absolutely fascinating, such a current issue. And we had CISOs from financial services and CISO from public sector. And it brought me back to the notion of the SOPA, because end of the day, to be able to detect the hardest insider threat, right? The true insider who does have nefarious intent and sort of knows where the bodies are buried, and they can really move low and slow, and they're harder to detect. They really need a lot of telemetry for how that type of insider is moving around, what they're accessing, what's anomalous. So it's even more data that gets fed into a security analytics platform that needs to be contextual so they can take action.
Yeah.
So I know we're doing some research in this area. Are we covering the insider threat in technologies like UBA as well?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And first, I'm glad that the feedback was positive, since this is what we're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, that supports everything we've seen in our research and everything we're anticipating in the new research, and that is there's more data that's being collected, processed, and analyzed. There are more tools to do that. There are more people involved. There are more nuances, and we need to move quickly. We can't afford days or weeks before we detect these threats or remediate these threats. SOPA is really an event-based software architecture, a la what's happened in the ERP world with companies like SAP and Oracle for years. But it's new to the security domain. But it's something we see coming, and it's something that our research and our customers are saying, yeah, this is absolutely a requirement.
So stay tuned for more from us and others. on that very
Stay
topic.
tuned for more, and I think it'll come fast and furious, not just from ESG, but I think
Sure.
the industry at large is sort of moving in this direction.
Absolutely. I heard that loud and clear at RSA conference.
Good.